How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about Alabama House Bill 314, which would outlaw abortion at any point during pregnancy, except for cases when the life of the mother is in jeopardy. So if the mom's about to die, if the abortion is not done, then at that point it's approved. But anything else, at any point during pregnancy, there shall be no abortion. Now, this has passed the Alabama Senate, and it sits right now on the desk of Governor Ivey. So we're kind of in the holding pattern as of right now, which is Wednesday, May 15th at about 10 a.m. Eastern. This could change at any point in time. I may do a follow-up video to see what happens, but that's where we are right now. Now, this has sparked all kind of rage, all kind of controversy, a lot of different opinions online, from regular normies to the media types, everybody. People are really either incensed, furious, or they're elated, they're glad. Now, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about this, why it's come into effect, my opinion, and my opinion about others who have their opinion on one way or the other. Now, this comes not too long after Georgia's heartbeat bill. They say that abortion shall be banned after 6 weeks. That's the bill that could become law very soon. I'm not sure. I think the governor signed off on it, but this could go to the Supreme Court. But that's a different story. And their bill, they got the same thing going on, except for the 6-week period. There is no week period in Alabama's bill. Furthermore, both bills have no exception for rape or incest. People are really upset about that. They were saying, how can you do this? You know, she didn't want this baby. It's not her fault. It was sexual assault. But see, the whole reasoning behind these bills is to attack the language of Roe v. Wade. Roe v. Wade concludes that a baby in utero, in the womb, is not a person. That's what it concludes. So if the baby in utero, in the womb, is a person, it doesn't really matter if they got there through rape, incest, or whatever. They're still a person. So you got to have rights for that individual. If a human being was living, walking around today, that was conceived through rape, we're not going to kill them because of how they were conceived. You know, they have rights the same way as everybody else. And the reality is that rape and incest only account for less than 1% of all abortions. And if I can find a link to that study I saw from the New York Times, I'll place that in the box below. But that's the reality of the situation. Rep. Susan Collins from Alabama said that. She was like, hey, how can I say that the baby's not a baby because of how they were conceived? It is what it is. But moving right along, people are saying this is an attack on women. You got a lot of people coming out with their Handmaid's Tale costumes, talking about abortion is a human right. And, you know, you're trying to take us back to the dark ages. You're forcing women to be mules for babies, but it ain't like that. The reality is most abortions, 99.9%, are because of convenience. Okay, I got pregnant. I regret it. I don't want to go through with it. I'm young. I'm scared. This, that, and the third. If it were up to me, I would say nationwide, no abortions. If you are able to get this through and it passes through the Supreme Court and Roe v. Wade is repealed, which is, I think, the ultimate goal, what would happen is that abortion will be left up to the states. So it wouldn't be a national thing where Roe v. Wade is repealed and therefore there's no more abortion anywhere. Each state will be able to have their own laws. So if you want it to be in New York City, where more black babies are aborted than born by a margin of 6,500 to 8,000 every year, then you can have that. If you want to live in a place where the national averages ring true for black women, where you have 34% of abortions being performed on black women, despite them only being 13% of the population, then go for it. If you want to continue the trend of 20 million black babies being aborted since 1973 Roe v. Wade, which is more than homicide, suicide, car accidents, fire, HIV, AIDS, and drugs times 10, then go for it. And that's what you want to do. But if you don't want to have that be your existence and be your reality, then live in a state that does not have that. I think that should be the resolution going forward, rather than just having every state being forced to have abortion on their books. Okay. Now, to those who are upset about this bill, how can you be upset? We're talking about human beings. Do you not believe that a human being is a human inside of the womb? At what point does a baby become a baby? Okay, because when the baby is born, it's a baby. Everybody celebrates. You give him a name, her or her a name. But what is it before it comes out of the womb? Okay, because you got premature babies that come out at 5 months, 6 months, and then you have full term that come out looking like Paul Bunyan, 11 pounds or whatever. You got sextuplets. You got all kind of ways and times baby can be delivered. So at what point is that baby a baby? Georgia says when you can hear a heartbeat. The reality is when a baby is conceived, that's when it becomes a baby. Alabama Bill 314 does not have anything in there about the Plan B pill or birth control. So they're not trying to regulate that. If a woman is sexually assaulted or she regrets having sex one night, she could take that Plan B pill to prevent conception. So therefore, there is no actual fertilization of the egg. Therefore, there's no pregnancy. That's not being dealt with at all. It's not even about that. It's about the baby in the womb. If there is no conception, then there is no baby. If you have birth control pills or condoms or whatever the case, then there's no baby in the womb. We're talking about a human being in the actual womb. That is the case here. So I support Alabama Bill, House Bill 314. To those that are upset, talking about abortion as a human right. I mean, at what point do human beings not have the right to live? How is abortion a human right, but at the same time you say humans got the right to live? It's a weird thing. People talk about police brutality, Black Lives Matter, this, that, and the third, but they don't want to look at an elephant in the room here, which is the abortion industry, abortion mills, which were started to eliminate people that look just like me, right? I don't really get it. I don't understand it at all. I think there's been a lot of brainwashing happening over the past 50 or so years to have you believe that your own baby inside of you is not a baby. I saw this lady say on television that a pregnant woman does not have a baby inside of her.
When a woman gets pregnant, that is not a human being inside of her. It's part of her body.
Well, if it's not a baby, then what is it? A parasite or something like that? They're trying to tell you that's what it is. Hopefully, Alabama is able to be successful. Like I said, right now, as of about 10:15 a.m. Eastern time on Wednesday, May 15th, we're still kind of in a holding pattern. It has not been signed by Ivey yet, but it should be. And there may be a big time Supreme Court battle, but hopefully we're able to get that through and we win. If we do, then Roe v. Wade will be repealed. If that becomes repealed, abortion will be up to the states to determine what they want to do. That does not mean that abortion will be outlawed totally. And I got to say one more thing. There is a criminal penalty here in House Bill 314, but that is against the doctors, not the actual women. The doctors. So if a woman goes for an abortion and the doctor does it, they can get up to 99 years in jail. That does not affect the woman. It's for the doctor. So people talking about, oh, you're trying to lock women up for having an abortion, this, that, and the third. No, it's for the doctor for doing an illegal procedure on somebody. It could be the equivalent of malpractice, but I think I'll leave that right there for now. So what do you think? Do you think that this bill will be able to survive not only Ivey, the governor, but also going through this whole process of the Supreme Court? When I think the actual goal is to repeal Roe v. Wade, are we going to have that be repealed in our lifetime? Hopefully we do. Some people, your Tulsi Gabbards of the world, Elizabeth Warren, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Cory Booker, all these people talking about how much they love minorities and they want to care for minorities don't appear to want to eliminate the one thing that is killing us more than anything else combined times 10. So I'll leave that right there. But am I wrong? Am I a bigot? Am I trying to control women by saying that we shouldn't be killing human beings? Or do you think that a baby in the womb is not a human? Either it is or it isn't. It ain't no in between. Okay. Just because a baby has not developed fully into what you see before you or into a baby like in the cute Hallmark pictures does not mean that it is not a baby. You can perform surgery on the baby in the womb. Ben Carson has done it. Many have done it. So what is that you perform a surgery on? Okay, like what are we really talking about? Let's just bring some science, some logic back into it and treat these babies in the womb as human beings. Whatever your comments are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.